Hi everybody. So we're starting our new topic of chemistry today, your actual work on it. And here is the way it's going to work when you're learning from home. So I'm going to run through all the instructions you need, and it's quite different to the way we did things last term. So make sure you listen carefully and follow along. So firstly, you obviously need your computer when you come to class. You also need to be prepared with the activity PowerPoint, which I'll show you how to download in a minute. And you also need your exercise book and pens because you write all your work, or nearly all your work, in your book. And you'll need your science textbook too, because sometimes you answer questions from the textbook. So once you've got all of those things, then you need to go onto Compass and read the lesson plan. Sometimes there'll be an introduction activity to do. So if there's an intro activity, complete that one. It might be watch a video or look at some pictures that's related to our chemistry topic. Then the main part of the lesson will be you doing working time. So firstly, people are going to be working at different levels in this topic because some of you know more chemistry at the moment than others, and that's fine. So that's why we did the pre-assessment at the start of the topic. So I can find out what level that you're at, and then you'll be learning things that are at your level. So once you know your level, then you need to download that PowerPoint that's got all the activities on for the level that you're at. So there's a separate PowerPoint for each level, and then find where you're up to. Today we'll be starting from the very start of one of the levels to show you. And then for the rest of the lesson, you work on each task that's on the PowerPoint. Sometimes there's an extra document you need to download, and I'll show you where those are in resources in a minute. And sometimes one of the tasks is a do-at-home experiment. I've tried to make a few little experiments you can do at home, in the kitchen mainly. So let's have a look at where to find all the resources. So if we go into one of your science pages and then resources, you'll see you go into term 2 chemistry, and then here's everything you need. So firstly, there's the chemistry pre-assessment that you already did. Then there's the remote learning instructions, and you should download those now. That is this page here, telling you what to do. Make sure you download the learning instructions, stick them on your wall so you have them and you know what to do each lesson. And then there's the folder for every level. So most of you will be starting at the basics, and that's fine. You might not have done any chemistry before. So you'll be starting at level 5. So you go to level 5. Then you can see there's the activities, and this is the PowerPoint to download. And then there's a quiz, learning task. And you'll see all the quizzes pop up in your learning tasks soon. So when you've done all the activities for one level, you'll be doing a quiz. So let's download the activity PowerPoint firstly. So we'll open it. So here is the PowerPoint, and the very first slide of each level has the learning intentions. So this is what you're learning in this particular level. And every slide, every activity in the PowerPoint, it's got a yellow box, and that's the instructions you need to follow. So if you're working starting at level 5, you'll need to copy out this heading into your book, Matter and Mixtures level 5, and then copy the learning intentions into your book. Whenever you see the pencil little symbol, that means you need to copy this out into your book. When you've done that, you move on to the next activity. So here we've got a Mr. Denmead Explains activity, and this is where you need to watch a video of me explaining some new information about chemistry. So the instructions are, watch the video. This one's about matter. So you click the link and it takes you to YouTube to watch the video. And then answer these 2 questions in your book at the end. Make sure you're always describing in full sentences too. So when you've done that activity, you move on. Then we've got another Mr. Denmead Explains about particles. So again, you'll watch that video and answer the questions. There's another video again. And another one. And then we get to an application task. So application task means you're practicing what you learnt in the videos. This one's about the states of matter. So the instructions say, write this heading in your notebook and answer all these questions in full sentences. So you'll do all that and then you'll move on to the next activity. So every lesson, I'm not going to be setting you need to do particular tasks because everyone's working at different levels. My usual goal is my recommendation is you should be aiming to complete at least 3 different slides each lesson, but depending on the person and the activity, it might be more or less. Some people get through 4 or 5 every lesson. If you put your head down and work, that's definitely possible. So going on to the next activity, this one is a practical activity. So it's called All Matter Has Mass, right? So this one says write the heading in your notebook and follow the instructions. So each slide has a different activity. Some of them are practical, some of them are watching a video, and some of them are writing tasks. At the end of each level, there's always practicing the vocabulary. So all the new keywords that you learnt at that level. This one here, you need to copy and complete this glossary into your book. There's the pencil, so you need to copy it out. Next, there's always a reflection task at the end as well, because it's really important to reflect on what you learnt and double check that you actually know all these learning intentions. So this reflection task says you need to answer what did I accomplish in this level and what's important about what I learnt about chemistry. Lastly, the very last slide of every level says collect the level 5 quiz from your teacher. So normally in the classroom, I'll hand out the quizzes, but for online learning, I'll go back to the instructions and show you what to do. So when you finish a level and you get to that last slide, you will have done the reflection task already. Then you're going to show your work to mum or dad or your guardians at home and explain to them what you learnt in that level. Discussing what you learnt really helps you to remember. Then get them to sign it. Obviously, if no one's home, if they're working, that's fine, you can skip those steps. Next is take photos of your work, of your workbook. So if you've just finished level 5, take a photo of all your work for level 5 and email it to me. You can't use Compass to email me, so make sure you use Outlook because Outlook can send attachments. You can't do that through Compass. Then I'll send you back the quiz when I've checked your work. And the quiz is basically a mini assessment, so you can prove that you learned everything at that level. So then you take the quiz, and that should say complete. So you do the quiz, you put all your notes away, and you don't use internet, you just use your brain and show what you learnt. So when you've done it, you upload it to the learning task, which is back in learning tasks. So you find the quiz level and upload it to that one. If you did the level 5 quiz, that's going to upload to this one. Finally, then you email me and say that you've submitted the quiz, and I will check it over. I'll give you some feedback. You might need to answer a few more questions to show your learning. And then after that, I'll tell you that you've completed that level. So if you've done the level 5 quiz, you now go back to resources, download level 6 and start working away at level 6. So by the end of term, I'm not saying you have to reach a certain level, but it's up to you to do as much work as you can to get the best results. Level 7 is about average. That's about year 7 level. So I'd say you want to be aiming about year 7 by the end of term. Okay, today you'll all be downloading level 5 and starting from there, but a few of you will actually be higher than level 5, and I'll be emailing you today to say which level you're starting at, because on your pre-assessments I can see what level you're already at with chemistry. Okay, there's a lot of information there. As always, email me if you have any questions. I really recommend you watch this video with your parents so you all understand how it's working. And for today, download level 5 and start working away on level 5. Okay, good luck everyone.